Dead Alive is a film that is almost a comedy, but not quite. From Lord of the Rings famous director Peter Jackson, we get one hell of a horror comedy wrong. So when Lionel's overprotective mother becomes infected with a zombie-esque virus, Lionel does what any dysfunctional, overly sheltered son would do: protect his mommy. As Lionel's attempts at containing the virus begins to fall apart, he simultaneously struggles to maintain his new budding relationship. As the pressure mounts and things go from bad to worse, Lionel's forced to be the bigger man that he always wanted to be. In a way, it's a coming-of-age film, but Lionel is like 30 years old, which is part of the surreal humor, honestly. I really love this movie. Its use of practical effects make it timeless, and its brand of humor is unique. Dead Alive relies on visual gags and exaggerated violence to keep its humor flowing. This movie is not only tons of fun, but an amazing example of how a director can bring a lasting flavor to the screen. In my mind, this is what Peter Jackson should be remembered for, over Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Cube is a maze film, and a unique one at that. Basically, a handful of strangers wake up in a structure with a cube room with 9 doors, one on each side. None of them have any memory of how they got there, or even who they are at the beginning of the film. In the cube, each one of those doors leads to a near identical room with slightly different lighting. The only catch is that some of these rooms have elaborate traps that offer brutal death or disfiguration. The psychological weight of being trapped pushes our characters to their limits, and even breaks some of them. Quite an interesting concept that's played out really well. Cube, unlike its sequels, spends a lot of its time focusing on just how hard this is on the player's psyches, which really adds an extra layer of depth for us to enjoy. The fight in our cast is what earns our respect and makes Cube worth watching to the end. That and the inherent mystery of this immense structure. Mist is a film adaptation of a novella by Stephen King, and it translates quite well to the screen. A group of strangers find themselves trapped in a supermarket when an eerie mist falls over the town. It quickly becomes apparent that there are creatures in the mist, and inside is the only place that's truly safe. The actual horror of this film isn't in the spectacular creatures that stalk the townspeople, as you might expect, but rather in what an average person is capable of when they're fearing for their life. This film plays heavily with mob mentality, and we watch the psychology of these people degrade from civility to insanity as the days stretch on. In the end, you're left asking yourself if the people are any better than the monsters that they fear. The Mist will leave you with chills, I guarantee it. And just remember, this is Stephen King, so don't expect a happy ending. The Faculty is a personal favorite of mine. In Faculty, we get a group of teenagers fighting an alien invasion, but it's a lot more hardcore than other films that follow this plot. As the aliens begin to infect people in an Invasion of the Body Snatchers-esque fashion, a group of kids try to find a way to stem the tide. Zeke, our main man, is possibly the coolest teenager I've seen to date on screen, and he rivals Ash of Evil Dead as one of the most capable horror characters in the entire genre. I quite enjoy seeing the common tropes of football player, goth, nerd, country girl, prep, and drug dealer taken and used as templates in a harsh setting. Typically, those characters only exist within slasher flicks or comedy films. This is one of the only examples of a proper horror film using those tropes. Faculty is a gem in the rough, and it's mostly forgotten nowadays, but that doesn't diminish from its quality, and it turns out to be the best movie it could have been. It may not be a work of art, but it's a damn good film. 13 Ghosts has a lot of cool elements to it. Not only do we get 12, yes, that's 12 different ghosts with interesting backstories, but we also get a creepy-ass glass house full of shifting walls. Not to mention Matthew Lillard as a psychic. There are lots of interesting concepts in this film that should keep you captivated for at least one viewing. Probably 2. I know I watched it a few times to soak in all the lore that's in here. Now, while the child acting may be a bit stale in places, and it does have a couple solid moments of cheese, the overarching mystery, setting, and lore more than redeem it. I'd recommend this film to the ghost enthusiasts out there who want something a little bit different, but still in the genre of ghost horror. Also, just a quick public service announcement, Matthew Lillard is a great actor. People got to stop remembering this guy as Shaggy. That fucking movie killed his career. 7 is an interesting film that I would classify as a horror thriller. It follows Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman as they investigate a serial killer who is murdering people according to the 7 deadly sins. The imagery of the movie is where most of the horror comes from. It doesn't attempt to scare us with jumps and excessive violence. Instead, it chooses to try to frighten us by showing the depths of depravity of our society and how overall helpless we are to stop it. That theme rings out for the entire duration, and it leaves an uneasy feeling with you. Beyond the compelling plot, it has to be said that Brad and Morgan make an amazing pair to follow in a feature-length film. Both of them bring life to what might have otherwise been cliched characters. A solid pick if you want a horror film that has a strong mystery element to it. The ending is something you won't forget anytime soon.
This is Mixlot Production.
Bad Biology is a bad movie, but it's also a lot of fun. The basic plot of this film is that there's a girl with a super intense monster vagina that kills people, who is looking for her mate. She needs someone who can match up to this crazy-ass badge of death, and she thinks she finds it in Bats. Now, Bats is a weird-ass dude who injects horse steroids into his junk. Eventually, Monster Penis meets Monster Vagina in the most goofy love story I have ever seen. There's no way to take this film seriously. The dude's penis literally runs away at one point, knocking down walls on its chase for satisfaction. This is something you watch in a group, preferably after having a couple of drinks. Because it's so over the top, it's fun. The acting, cinematography, and obviously the plot are terribly done. This is a B movie, have no doubts about it, but sometimes that's exactly what you're looking for. In terms of the B genre, this stands out as one of the more ridiculous films on the market, and it's really easy to just have a good time watching it. Hellraiser is one of the staples of horror, and unlike many other staples of horror, this film earns its mantle. Clive Barker made something amazing when he filmed Hellraiser. For those unaware, the plot of Hellraiser is that there's a puzzle box that once solved opens a gateway to an altered dimension of pain and ecstasy that engulfs you. The way that it delves into torture and S&M themes is a revolutionary idea, particularly for the time it was made. The influence this had on horror is long-lasting and profound. Without it, films like Saw, Cabin in the Woods, or even the television show Stranger Things never would have come into existence, at least not in the way that we know them. The idea of Pandora's box is not necessarily new, but the potential hell inside is a concept that has never been seen before. I truly believe this is one film beyond all its sequels that shaped the landscape of horror for the better. There are no jump scares or cheap thrills in Hellraiser. It relies on uncomfortable imagery and concepts to get under your skin. It's a must-see for all horror fans. Check it out.
And that was another 8 movies. That's 16 on our way to Halloween. And I have seen all of these, and I love all of these movies, but I can't keep you for too long. I just want to... Shoutouts to Dead Alive.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson's Dead Alive or Brain Dead. Oh, I love it. It's a wonderful period piece. It's an actual good movie. Like...
Yeah, second best thing on this list. I mean, only topped by Hellraiser, because... mantle of horror right there.
But if we had more time, I would love to get into that debate because I go behind the tone and the atmosphere in Dead Alive a lot more. It is such a weird, zany movie, and the heavy, dark tensions in Hellraiser I just don't stick with me as well.
The biggest thing for Hellraiser is the way that it has influenced horror ever after.
Yeah.
Clive Barker's Hellraiser, it revolutionized the genre in the way that Dead Alive just didn't. Dead Alive's a lot of fun. It's a way you can enjoy it, you can have fun with it. Most people don't know what it is.
No.
And even if you know what it is, it's hard to see what it influences.
Yeah, no, you definitely see Cenobites a lot more than you see the
Yeah.
gore and tone that Peter Jackson put out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. Special shout-outs to the faculty. Little guy, we still watch you. We still love you.
Yeah, not the best movie, but as I said, personal favorite for me. It's a good film. I really enjoy it. Zeke is the coolest teenager.
Yeah. Oh.
Straight up. There's no teenager as cool as Zeke.
Oh. And a lot of good star power in it, too. I'm sure you mentioned it in your video. I'll be watching it when you post.
Yeah, there's stars kind of scattered all about. I didn't mention too many of them because, I mean, you see their faces, you're going to recognize them.
Yeah,
But,
it's good for popcorn, it is.
Yeah.
And what a great list. Good on you. Bad Biology, special shouts to Frank Henenlotter and his weird, offbeat movies.
Bad movie, but fun movie.
I did that movie on a first date once.
You're an awful judge.
There wasn't a follow-up.
I bet not. No. I don't know.
It was midday. Yeah, no.
The questions keep mounting.
Nah, it was like, it wasn't even near Halloween. It was just...
Hey, you want to watch this filthy thing?
I bought it because I saw the director's name.
I had to clear out so much nudity to just find enough footage to put on. Like,
It's
fair warning, tons of nudity.
Don't bring it home to your parents. It's an oddity. It's a weird cult oddity, but yeah.
You should drink before you watch it.
And during.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for watching, guys, and please keep us up to date on your horror movie selection. Maybe you're watching with us, maybe you're watching your own. Let us know, because this, for me, it's my favorite time of the year.
I like horror movies. I'm not as big a fan as this guy, but they're always interesting. They're a special kind of genre, and I'd be happy to know what you guys are watching. You know, as always, if you enjoyed what you saw, subscribe, give us a like, and if you really, really like it, maybe support us on Patreon a little bit.
See ya.